King of the Hills has a 4.1 million ounce mineral resource, which is enormous, obviously, and a 2.4 million ounce ore reserve, which on an ore reserve basis will put it as one of the top 10 gold mines in Australia, once into production, which we expect to be June quarter of 2022, so roughly 6 months away.
Well, hello, welcome to Assay TV. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Patrick Duffy, who is the Chief Corporate Development Officer at Red 5 Limited. Red 5 are developing the King of the Hills mine in the northern goldfields of Western Australia. Patrick, great to see you today. You're developing what has been described as Australia's next major gold mine. Very exciting times for the company. If we could start things off with some sort of facts and figures on the project. Reserves and resources, what have you got there?
Okay, thanks very much, Leo. Great to speak to you. So King of the Hills has a 4.1 million ounce mineral resource, which is enormous, obviously, and a 2.4 million ounce ore reserve, which on an ore reserve basis will put it as one of the top 10 gold mines in Australia, once into production, which we expect to be June quarter of 2022, so roughly 6 months away, which is not very far away.
Fantastic, and obviously it's a historic open pit there. What were the previous production at the project?
Yeah, so previously it's been mined both as an open pit and then later as an underground mine, including Red 5 mining it as an underground. But over 2 million ounces has been mined historically. And right now, we anticipate mining up to at least 2.5 million ounces over the next 16-year life of mine.
Right. But in terms of the geology, what's the exploration potential?
Yeah, look, it's a huge ore body that's only been drilled on the eastern contact of the granodiorite. So it's open on every front, and we expect to be mining for many, many years to come.
Absolutely. And tell us about the progress you've made towards in terms of development. You've got a nice photo in the background there showing obviously a lot of work going on site. What have you been doing at the moment?
That's right. So we've passed our 50% project completion milestone in July. So the camp is built, the bulk earthworks are completed, the CIL tanks that you can see in the background are now assembled. We're in a steel erection phase whereby we anticipate having the mill and the crusher fully assembled by the end of October. And then we're into a electrical and pump and plumbing installation phase leading up to commissioning early next year.
Fantastic. And how much is the construction all costing?
Yeah, in total, $226 million. It's being built by Macca Interquip on a EPC contract basis. So it's a fixed price contract. Project's on schedule and well within budget. So we're really, the team's really flying at the moment.
And in terms of the overall sort of future profitability of the project, I mean, what's your payback period on that construction cost?
So yeah, less than 2 years. It'll be producing exceptional cash flow over the life of the mine, but the banks will be paid back quickly, and then we'll be into a cash consolidation phase, which will be very nice.
Have you got, you've obviously got figures on sort of projected all-in sustaining costs and your eventual NPV and things like that, yeah?
Yeah, so it's below the industry average cost curve. So in the first 6 years, averaging $1,350 per ounce over the life of mine, $1,440 per ounce.
And we're talking Australian dollars for those figures, yeah?
Exactly, Australian dollars.
Absolutely. So that's I can't work out what that is in American dollars, but it sounds a reasonably low cost.
It would be roughly $1,000 per ounce US.
Fantastic. And in terms of sort of production size and all that sort of stuff, how does it compare with some of the your competitors in Australia?
Yeah, so there's two obvious examples. One is Evolution's Lake Cow Gold Mine. So our mill is a similar diameter in size. It is doing 9 million tonnes per annum. We'll be doing initially 4.7 million tonnes per annum, but the mill has capacity to do a lot more. The other is Gold Road's Gruyere Gold Mine, which similar dimensions for the mill, similar all-in sustaining costs, and similar life of mine to Red 5's King of the Hills project.
And just to touch on this, you've obviously got some photos, as I said, in the background there of your processing plant. So it's very simple processing, yeah? Yeah,
it's a single stage SAG mill CIL process, so well-known technology, and it'll reach full capacity very quickly once it's commissioned.
Nothing complicated there. Okay, great.
Right.
And you announced back in July the divestment of your Sienna mine in the Philippines. Can you give us an update on where that's at?
Yeah, so we're only maybe 1 to 2 weeks away from financial close. So the sale is approved by the Philippines government now, and we're just into the final steps. So we anticipate having the initial cash payment that will be received in September, which is US $19 million. And there's also a royalty with a face value of $36 million that will come with the sale. That cash is really timely. So obviously, when in this construction phase, by the end of September, we anticipate having 60 to 70 Aussie million dollars in the bank, which is a nice buffer to have in this sort of critical ramp up for the King of the Hills project.
Absolutely. Lots of contractors to pay at the moment, I guess. No,
that's right. So the project is fully financed. We have HSBC, BNP Paribas, and Macquarie Bank supporting the project. So it's a $175 million debt facility, which we're now drawing down on. And at this stage, we anticipate being ahead of budget and not having to fully utilize that facility.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your Darlow mine there. It's another mine. It's currently operating, but you have some plans to switch the processing of that mine to King of the Hills, I believe. Tell us a little bit about what you're planning there.
No, that's right. So we're fortunate. Darlow's 100 kilometres to the north of King of the Hills. There's a process plant operating right now. It is an older, but it's been a very successful gold mine. We're producing 62 to 72,000 ounces this year at Darlow. And then when King of the Hills starts up early next year, we'll turn off the mill and Darlow will become a satellite underground mine feed for King of the Hills. What's exciting about that is we anticipate saving at least $300 per ounce by processing at King of the Hills. And we expect it really now will reinvigorate Darlow and extend the life of mine at Darlow substantially in the years to come.
If we could touch more on the sort of exploration potential of King of the Hills. You mentioned earlier, there's mineralization in sort of all directions. What are your plans for further exploration at King of the Hills?
So once King of the Hills is generating good cash flow, we will start to invest substantially in both underground drilling in the ore body, but also across our 2,500 square kilometre tenement holdings, both at King of the Hills and Darlow. So we do sit on very prospective ground. There's great potential both at King of the Hills and also underground at Darlow for high-grade feed in the future. And with such a big mill and potential to expand that capacity in the future, looking to add satellite pits both within our tenement holdings and within the region in the future.
I mean, potential to have a really huge mine running for many years to come, I guess.
No, that's right. So it is a strategic asset. It sits on the Goldfields Highway. It's 10 kilometres from the Goldfields gas pipeline. It's very cheap power. It's at very cheap processing costs. King of the Hills is going to be here for a number of decades.
And how's the government in Western Australia helping you out on this? Are they supportive?
Yeah, all the permits and approvals went through smoothly. We just had the Minister for Mines on site last Thursday, Honourable Bill Johnson. So it was a very successful trip along with the media. But no, Western Australian government's doing everything it can to help the project.
And in terms of job creation in the area, must be a positive.
Absolutely. So there's 450 construction jobs, and once into production, there'll be over 600 jobs involved both at King of the Hills and Darlow. So great for the Western Australian economy, great for the area of Leonora. It's got a lot of support from the local communities and lots of opportunities for local contractors.
Absolutely. Well, you've got a busy year ahead of you. What was the date again? You're planning to have your first pour?
Yeah, June quarter 2022, 6 months away.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck as you progress everything. Looks like it's going well so far, but we look forward to hearing more about it once you get the everything up and running.
Indeed. Thanks very much, Leo.
Thank you, Patrick.
Okay, bye.